41. Don't marry that one. You have been brought up in a family that does arranged marriages and you are being forced to marry one of three sisters. One of the sisters always tells the truth, one of the sisters always lies, and the other will sometimes lie and sometimes tell the truth. You do not know which sister is which, but you do know that the sister that sometimes lies and sometimes tells the truth has an awful disease that you will catch if you marry her. You don't like any of the sisters and are content with marrying either the truth teller or the liar, but you absolutely do not want to marry the diseased sister. If the three sisters are standing next to each other, can you approach one sister and ask her a yes or no question that will guarantee you can make a safe decision regarding which sister you are going to marry? 42. King Arthur's Coin Game. You are with King Arthur at his perfectly round table. You each have a huge pile of gold coins and have agreed to play a game. The winner gets to keep all of the gold. The rules are as follows: each player will in turn place a coin on the table. The coin must lay flat, it cannot overlap any other coins, and it cannot hang off the edge of the table. The first player unable to successfully place a coin loses. King Arthur thinks he's really good at this game and has decided to let you go first. What strategy can you come up with to guarantee that you win? 43. The Bronx versus Brooklyn. There is a young man who lives in Manhattan near a subway station. He has two girlfriends. One lives in Brooklyn and the other lives in the Bronx. To visit the girl in Brooklyn he must take the train heading downtown, and to visit the girl that lives in the Bronx he must take the train heading uptown. The young man likes both girls equally and decides that he is going to just get on the first train that comes to the platform and let chance decide which girlfriend he visits. Each train arrives at the station every 10 minutes and the man arrives at the platform at a random time every morning. Despite these conditions, the man finds himself spending 9 out of 10 days with the girlfriend that lives in the Bronx. Why is this happening? 44. 3 playing cards. In front of you are 3 ordinary playing cards arranged in a horizontal row. To the right of the jack there's at least 1 king. To the left of that king there's at least 1 king. To the left of the club there's at least 1 heart. To the right of the heart there's at least 1 heart. What are the 3 playing cards and what order are they in? 45. Colored weights. You have a balance scale and 6 weights. There are 2 red weights, 2 white weights, and 2 blue weights. In each pair of colored weights one weight is slightly heavier than the other but is otherwise identical. The 3 heavier weights all weigh the same and the 3 lighter weights all weigh the same. What is the fewest number of times you need to use the balance scale in order to positively identify the heavier weight in each pair? 46. Calendar cubes. A businessman has 2 regular cubes on his office desk. Each cube has 6 single-digit numbers on it. Every day he arranges both cubes so that the front faces show the current day of the month. What are the numbers on each face of each cube? 47. Finding your seat. You are running late in an airport and are in the very back of the line to board your plane. The plane seats 50 people. The first person in line forgot his seat number and chooses a seat at random when he enters the plane. Each subsequent person will sit in their assigned seat unless it is taken by someone else. If they find their seat already occupied, they will choose another seat at random. If you are the last person to board the plane, what is the probability that you will get your assigned seat? 48. 3 prospective employees. 3 perfectly intelligent men, Alan, Bob, and Cal, are applying for the same job position. They are equally capable and the employer is having a hard time deciding which man to hire. He decides to play a simple game and give the job to the first person that solves it. A black or white hat is placed on each man's head and each man can see the other men's hats but not their own. They are instructed to raise their hands if they see a black hat, and the first person to tell the employer what color hat they are wearing and how they figured this out will get the job. After the hats are placed on Alan, Bob, and Cal's heads, each man raises his hand. After a few seconds, Alan says, "I've figured it out." What color hat is Alan wearing and how did he know? 49. Late to work. Just as Alan is about to be hired, Dan walks into the room late for the interview. The employer had already taken a liking to Dan and wanted to give him a chance too, so he decides to play another very similar game, now with 4 players. A black or white hat is placed on each man's head and each man can see the other men's hats but not their own. They are instructed this time to raise their hands if they see at least 2 black hats, and the first person to tell the employer what color hat they are wearing and how they figured this out will get the job. After the hats are placed on Alan, Bob, Cal, and Dan's heads, each man raises his hand. After a few seconds, Alan says once more, "I've figured it out." What color hat is Alan wearing and how did he know? 50. Intellectuals standing in line with hats. 4 perfectly intelligent men, Alan, Bob, Cal, and Dan, who have taken quite a liking to solving problems with hats, are standing in a single file line. Alan is in the back of the line and standing in front of him are Bob, Cal, and Dan, in that order. A hat is placed on each man's head and each of the 4 hats is one of 3 different colors, red, white, or blue. There is at least 1 hat of each color on the men's heads. The men cannot see the color of their own head but can see the hats of each man standing in front of them in line. Alan can see Bob, Cal, and Dan's hats. Bob can see Cal and Dan's hats. Cal can see Dan's hat. Dan cannot see anyone's hat. Starting with Alan, each man is asked if they know the color of their hat and, if they do know, to announce which color hat they are wearing. Each man can hear each answer. Strangely enough, Alan, Bob, Cal, and Dan are all able to deduce and announce the color of their hats correctly. How were the hats arranged so that this situation was possible without any one of them having to guess? How did they each deduce the color of their hat? 51. Numbered foreheads. You are in a room with 2 perfectly intelligent men, Eugene and Frank, and a painter, Claude. Claude has painted a unique number on each of your foreheads. Each number is a whole number greater than 0, and one of the numbers is the sum of the other 2. You, Eugene, and Frank know this information. You see the number 20 painted on Eugene's head and the number 30 painted on Frank's forehead. Claude then asks you, "Do you know what your number is, and if so, what is it?" You reply no, because at this point it is impossible for you to deduce which number you have painted on your forehead. Claude then asks Eugene the same question, to which Eugene also replies, "No." Claude then asks Frank the same question, to which he also replies, "No." Claude then turns to you and asks once more, "Do you know what your number is, and if so, what is it?" How do you respond this time? 52. Rope burning. You have a lighter and 2 ropes. Each rope takes 1 hour to burn completely. Both ropes have varying thicknesses, meaning that different parts of each rope burn at different speeds. How can you accurately time 45 minutes with just the 2 ropes and the lighter? 53. A stopped watch. A watch that runs normally but is out of sync will not be right more than a few times over the course of a month. A stopped watch will be right 2 times a day. A clever old man adjusted his watch so that it gives the correct time at least twice a day and still runs at the normal rate. Assuming he didn't know what time it was and was not able to set the watch perfectly, what did the clever old man do? 54. Hotel security. Alan and Bob are staying in 2 different rooms in the same hotel. Alan has a valuable ring that he wants to give to Bob, but an unbelievable set of circumstances have led to spies lurking around the hotel trying to find and kill both Alan and Bob. Because of this, neither of them are able to safely leave their room. The only way they are able to transfer items to and from each other is with the help of the bellhops that work at the hotel. Alan and Bob each have a small portable safe that can be secured with multiple locks. Alan and Bob each have a padlock and corresponding key. Unfortunately, the bellhops are thieves and will steal anything and everything that is inside of the safes if they are unlocked. How can Alan securely send the valuable ring to Bob without it being stolen? 55. The Secret of Monk Island. There is a small island full of perfectly intelligent monks where everyone has either brown or blue eyes. The monks that have blue eyes are believed to be cursed and are required to commit suicide at midnight. However, the monks have all taken a vow and no one is allowed to tell anyone what color eyes they have. The island has no reflective surfaces and there is absolutely no way for any of the monks to know the color of their own eyes. They are only able to see the eyes of everyone else on the island. Because of this, life on the island goes on uninterrupted and no one ever commits suicide. One day a man who was lost at sea arrives on the shore of the island in a boat. All of the monks run to the shore to see who the man is, and the man says to them, "At least one of you has blue eyes." After hearing this new information, the monks all panic and look around at each other. What happens that night at midnight?
Everything that wasn't right, going through life like a fool.